Good afternoon and welcome to our regular council meeting for Monday, June 9th, 2025. I will call the meeting to order at 5 p.m. First item on the agenda, under agenda item 1.1, Land Acknowledgement. The town of Coaldale acknowledges that we are gathered on the lands of the Blackfoot peoples of the Canadian Plains and pays respect to the Blackfoot peoples past, present, and future, while recognizing their cultural heritage, beliefs, and relationship to the land. The town of Coaldale is also home to the Métis District 1 foothills. Agenda item 1.2, Conflict of Interest Declaration, Pecuniary and Non-pecuniary. Are there any in the room this afternoon? Councillor Abrey.
Thank you, Mayor. 13.2, collective bargaining update. I'll be stepping out when the CAO gives the update on that.
Thank you. Any other declarations? Seeing none, we'll move on to agenda item 2.1, the acceptance of the regular council meeting agenda for June 9th, 2025. Are there any additions or deletions? Seeing none, could I get someone to make a motion that council adopt the regular council meeting agenda for June 9th, 2025 as presented? Councillor Pickering makes that motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 3.1, under adoption of previous minutes, we have the regular council meeting minutes from May 20th, 2025. Were there any errors or omissions in those minutes? Seeing none, could I get someone to entertain making a motion that council adopt the regular council meeting minutes from May 20th, 2025 as presented? Deputy Mayor Reeves makes that motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 4.1, under the delegation by appointment, we have representation this afternoon from the County of Lethbridge Community Learning Council. And we have Melanie Patenaude and the executive director, and we have the board chair, Tina Meggison, in attendance. So welcome, ladies. When you're ready to speak, you have to turn your microphone on for me, and when you're done, turn it off, please.
There we go.
And just move it in front of you a little bit closer.
Is this on? Yes. Okay. Awesome. Thank you for having us here today. We are very proud of Melanie and Roxanne for receiving this award. And so thank you for having us in to share on that. I have it written down. It was a Monday, so I'll just read off my paper here. The Council of the Federation Literacy Award recognizes outstanding achievement, innovative practice, and excellence in literacy. The awards are presented annually in each province and territory to recognize the excellence of educators, volunteers, learners, community organizations, and businesses in many areas, including family, Indigenous, health, workplace, and community literacy. So since 1974, the County of Lethbridge Community Learning Council, or CLCLC, has supported adult literacy in the region. With just two dedicated staff, Melanie Patenaude and Roxanne Semeleski, CLCLC plays a vital role, especially in English language learning, or ELL. They work closely with newcomers and Low German Mennonites to help them learn English, navigate life in Canada, and connect with the wider community. Employers have even supported this by paying staff to attend ELL classes. So farmers in the area have had them come in and teach their employees English, or employees. Melanie and Roxanne are known for their inclusive, collaborative, and creative approach, especially during COVID, when their innovative efforts truly stood out. That's why when this award opportunity came up, the board unanimously felt that they were the perfect fit. As a newcomer to Canada myself, I saw firsthand the impact that people like Melanie and Roxanne can have on those that are new. And so I just really appreciate the work that they do. This award is truly well deserved, and CLCLC continues to transform the lives of so many in our community.
We're also joined today by two other board members. We've got Phyllis Hutchinson and Petra DeBow. And Jordan Sealer.
Thank you. So congratulations on this prestigious award, referred to as the 2024 Council of Federation Literacy Award, correct?
Correct.
And I just wanted to read a notification here that this national recognition is a well-deserved testament to the exceptional work you have done to foster a vibrant, welcoming, and empowering learning community across Lethbridge County. And under your leadership and through the dedication of your instructors and volunteer tutors, the CLCLC has grown into a vital resource for English language learners, newcomers, and many others striving to build better lives for themselves and their families. Your commitment to improving literacy and foundational life skills, including financial literacy, health awareness, and understanding government services, has strengthened not only individual learners, but the fabric of our entire community. It is inspiring to see learners empowered to start their own businesses, manage their personal affairs more confidently, and contribute meaningfully to local economy and social life of our region. So congratulations for all your hard work. So is there any questions, comments by any members of council? Councillor Chaplin.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, and thank you so much for your presentation, Tina and Melanie. I appreciate you attending this afternoon, and of course, having Petra DeBow here as well. And of course, the four of us all sit on another group called the Southern Alberta Canadier Association. Maybe you might want to update council a little bit on where you're at with that organization and the steps and inroads that you're taking in the community.
Sure, sounds good. Thank you. I wear multiple hats. So yes, I'm also chair of SACA, and SACA meets quarterly where there's opportunity for service providers all over Alberta, as well as we have others join us from Ontario, where we can collaborate and work together to create resources and just opportunity to discuss the issues that we see, maybe some barriers, or how we can bridge some gaps within the Low German Mennonite community. So lots of opportunities there. I think it's going very well. We're currently working on planning 2026 SACA conference, where we hope to invite folks from all over Alberta to come learn more about that community.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Seeing none. So congratulations once again. I appreciate your coming out and sharing this exciting news with our council. And please bring it back to your board as well, that we appreciate everything that you do. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 4.2 under delegation by appointment. We have NewCold representatives here this afternoon regarding a construction update. And I will ask Michael Keeler, the site manager, and Derek Bedke, the area site manager, to go ahead and have a seat. And whoever is going to speak, just turn on your microphone, please, when you're ready. And as a council, we're looking forward to your update. So whenever you're ready.
All right. Okay, it came up. So my name is Derek Bedke, and I'll kind of introduce myself here in just a second in the next slide. But as far as the facility that's getting built just right over here, I don't know if you guys have seen this before, but if it's review, I apologize. But in review, we are a highly automated cold storage facility. So this building here, it's state of the art. I mean, for the lack of a better term, we're connected by rail and road transportation, and it's designed for expansion. And we're supporting the growing food producers in southern Alberta. This is a very exciting time, a very exciting area as far as I am concerned. So who I am is I was born and raised in Oakley, Idaho. It's about 10 hours straight south of here. on a cattle ranch. So I am not from some big city. I'm from a very small town. I think our town has, the sign says 630 people from Oakley. And then so Burley is the big city we go to, and it's got 10,000 or so. So I would consider it very similar to Coaldale. I started with NewCold in July of 2018. So in a very similar time frame to when this building here was, when it would just look like a great big erector set. I joined NewCold at the same time at the Burley facility and was responsible for getting a whole bunch of people hired, trained, working with these crazy Dutch people to get this thing up and going. And it has been an absolute thrill ever since. I just see so many things that are similar between Southern Alberta and Southern Idaho. The work ethic of the people here it's phenomenal. I get comments from a lot of the folks that are coming in. We have facilities in, so the Burley, Idaho one, we have Tacoma, Washington, which is right outside Seattle, Indianapolis, Indiana, Atlanta, Georgia. NewCold is growing extremely rapidly. When I joined the company, we kind of counted in pallet locations because we deal in pallets. With the Burley facility, we had 150,000 pallet locations. As of right now, today, we're sitting at about 500,000 pallet locations in the company, and we're looking to triple that in the next 3 years to 1.5 million pallet locations. So it's growing extremely rapidly. We need good people in our company, and this community is providing that for NewCold. It's absolutely great. This just showing my father and then my son and nephews. It was a couple of years ago, but this is what I'm used to. I see a tremendous amount of cattle trucks around these parts. I'm quite used to that, and honestly, it feels like home for me. And we were able to make a very successful startup and go live and an operation in Burley, and I'm encouraged here because we're going to have the same thing, and that's highly, highly, highly due to the people that we're hiring. Mike Keeler being absolutely one of those. So what our building is and kind of what it's going to entail. It's an automated cold store. Everything in that building, and forgive me for not speaking the local parlance, but 0 degrees Fahrenheit, plus or minus 2 is kind of what our operating temperature is going to be. It's 150 feet tall. So it's about 14 pallet storage locations high. I'm not quite sure on all the dimensions just yet, but we fit 56,000 pallets in that high bay. The high bay is actually, we're going to take the oxygen down just to about 16.5%. So it's honestly still okay to be in there, but we do need to wear SCBA equipment. So like scuba, just without the underwater part. So self-contained breathing apparatuses to get out there, and then do our maintenance on our cranes, that's where all the cranes are. It's ASRS, automated storage and retrieval system with 6 cranes. We do have a rail spur that's outlined right there. We have a drop yard for, I'm not sure how many trailers can fit out there, but call it 150. And then we will be operating 24/7. As of now, we're recruiting about 60 full-time individuals to go live. We are going live in 2 weeks. So June 24th is our go live date. We do have 43 people hired now, going live the end of June. And because NewCold is such a large organization across the world, we have people that have set up these facilities before. So we hire the local team, and then we have individuals from different parts of the world that will come in and train those teams to be able to handle the day-to-day operations. So when I counted it up, I think it was going to be about 5 different countries that'll be represented here training the local team, which is kind of exciting. Oh, and this pallet racking right here, this just shows some of this is more of the manual side of our pallet racking, although there's some automation in this too, that it's all there, but then we would only put, I don't know if this thing has oh, no, oh, it does. And of course it doesn't work on that thing. Well, pretend I'm pointing to the front part, or like the left side of those pallet racks. There's going to be a little mole, they call it, so we can set a pallet up. This little mole is going to drive under it. I think it's on a remote control. I haven't quite seen them yet. That'll drive underneath it, lift it up, drive it to the back of the pallet racking. We'll put another one in. It'll do the same thing. So this is an area where it's a little bit more manual, but very exciting because it allows us to, in case something breaks in the automation, which it is still a machine, things do break, we can still move pallets. So that's kind of what that shows. This area right here is our automated loading. This is actually the automated unloading part. So we have the ability to back trailers up. Local company Evans Trucking is going to be helping us out. They are going to be going and bringing us full pallets or full trailers with 24 pallets in them. They can back right up, and I wish the stupid thing's not working. But kind of in the middle there, that looks like there's some things that are standing up, kind of with a little bit of a white background. When a trailer backs into that dock, that we'll call it a drawbridge, will lower down into the trailer, and there's roller conveyors inside the trailer, and then these roller conveyors here, so they link up, and then that full load of 24 pallets will unload in about 3 minutes with nobody touching it. And then it will get on this conveyance system. And then over here on this left side, there's kind of a rectangle structure out of metal right there. We call that an eye point. So those pallets will come through that eye point. They'll get scanned. We'll check out the label on the pallet, make sure that our system recognizes that. We do a quick scan physically of the pallet to make sure there's no lean on it or anything. This has structural integrity to go live 140 feet in the air for who knows how long. Probably 30 days. The building will turn relatively quickly. And then from there, it'll catch a ride on the automation and go get put away in the cranes and into its final resting place in the high bay. And all the pallets that'll come through there, they'll be gone in probably 12 minutes or so. So it's fascinating how quickly this place processes pallets. This picture was taken, I think, last Wednesday, and there's even been more stuff that has happened since. Like right under that 4.2, you can see there's a little bit of work going on. It's a little different shade of white up there. So we're working on getting the building wind and weather tight. This was quite a little bit before that was done, but it's actually all wind and weather tight now. So the whole top has that membrane that goes clear along the side or along the top, and it's waterproof now. We've had a little bit of rain that got in there and a couple different times, but we've got folks cleaning that up, and everything is moving along really well. Here's that other view of that showing that membrane getting laid down by the roofers, and that's all finished now. Here's a photo of our pick floor. This is actually so if we go back, these buildings that we constructed, they're consisted of a high bay, which is this larger square, and then the smaller square in the front, that's more of our low bay. The low bay is split into two different parts: the dispatch area where we're loading trucks in and out, we're loading the rail cars, unloading trucks, unloading rail cars, and then the top part of the low bay is our pick floor. So it's a lot more manual area, but if a customer orders not a full pallet of whatever they're ordering, we can go up here and pick the cases out and accomplish whatever that order is for the customer, and then wrap it, put a pallet on it, and then put it into our automation system through this area right here. So there's actually an elevator. It's kind of on that back side. There's a little bit of red you can see. That's a pallet elevator. So the pallet will go on that, drop down, and get moved around within the system to wherever it needs to go. Down here, this shows the bottom of that elevator, and this is our dispatch floor. So there's a whole lot of different abilities that can happen in here, but it's all about flow for these NewCold buildings. We move pallets, and we get them in efficiently, and we try to get them out efficiently. So down here, you have where this big wooden box is a reject area in case that eye point I mentioned earlier, if there's something wrong with the pallet that is not quite right, it can go to an area where we can adjust that pallet as we need, and then send it through the eye point again, and hopefully it'll go and catch a ride wherever it needs to go. And this is the back side of that dispatch area. And once again, I would be happy to host a real tour this time. I got that dumb rule figured out that we could actually maybe take some pictures. But I'd be happy to show everybody in this one when we get up and operational, because it'll be fascinating to see. But this area right here on the right hand side of the picture is our monorail. So every one of those pallets that gets in will catch a ride on this monorail. So there's different carts that run around on there. It's kind of, this building actually, it looks a little bit more like the slot cars that you may be familiar with. There's carts that ride along on this. They get their power from the cables that run along the middle of that, but it's on a track, and we have, I believe it's 11 or 14 different carts that the pallet will go on, and then it drives around and then goes to wherever its resting spot's going to be, whether it's be shipping out or inside the cranes to get stored. This shows a kind of a picture. It doesn't really capture the feeling in the high bay very well, but it is quite something when you're standing at the bottom of the erector set and you look up, and it's just this structure as far as you can see. It's quite impressive. This is one of our stacker cranes. We have 6 of them in this facility, and I'm not 100% sure the specifications here because I haven't had to live it and breathe it like I have in Burley. But I know that we can do 24 pallets in, 24 pallets out on these cranes in Burley, and I would assume it's a similar specification for these. And this is all 100% in the cold. So that actually in the high bay, there really won't be people out there unless you're going to do maintenance on the cranes or maintenance on the conveyance or something like that. And then out here, this showcases one of our loading doors. I believe this is the area where we're going to load and unload rail cars. And then all of our forklifts are getting here, so that's pretty exciting. This is just one of those eye points, like we mentioned. You can put pallets in here. It'll either accept it, or then it's going to come and reject, and then we'll have to have some labor to figure all that out. So that's pretty much my picture update. But I would be happy to answer any questions within reason. So yeah, thank you so much for your time. We're very, very excited to be part of this community. I've had nothing but positive experiences here, and I had high hopes, and they've been absolutely met. It feels like home to me, and that to me is a big deal. I'm not just some big city guy. I happen to like this type of area a lot, so it's meeting expectations.
Thank you very much for that informative presentation. So just before I open it up to council, a couple questions. So the opening, because this is the largest single investment in the history of Coaldale, this new facility, and we would like to champion it for you guys. So as far as the grand opening, our MLA, Minister Grant Hunter, is very interested in when the ground opening is going to be, because he wants to invite the Premier down. And when she came down the first time, we actually marked a spot where she stood, and we want to put her back in the same spot that has the building in the background. And she was very excited to be part of that. So timelines for that, I'll let you work that through with our municipal clerk when that's going to be. And then also we're going to take you up on that tour of the facility. And again, that's based on your timeline once you get all the little bugs worked out. And again, our municipal clerk will reach out to you when we can make that happen as well. With that being said, I'll open it up to members of council. Questions, comments? Councillor Pickering.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to say I'm very pleased to see that building come to Coaldale. It was a long road, and our administration did a great job in attracting it. I'm just curious, are you going to do tours there for the public?
It won't necessarily be for the public. I think we'll be happy to do tours. It's a little hard to do groups, let's be honest, because there's a lot of moving parts, and this place is absolutely a working facility. So a dozen or less is good. But as far as public is concerned, probably not. If it's specialized groups, we are happy to figure out a way to accommodate.
The reason I'm asking is because that is tied pretty close to McCain's, and most of the people I know, like the PGA growers, I've had a few of them ask me already if there was going to be tours there.
Yeah, and that's the kind of thing. If we just have a small group and we could figure it out, we'd be happy. Mike would be happy to start conducting those tours, especially if we can keep it low. Because I remember doing the same thing. Like at the Burley facility, we had a lot of the local growers. We toured them around. I believe the town council, they were very excited. Like I don't remember what Doug's position was, but he was very excited. He'd run people out to the facility and show them every time they were coming to Burley that they were very proud of it as well. And I believe it has lived up to the hype. Like, and the amount of jobs that so I'll speak from the Burley perspective, the amount of jobs that have been able to be introduced into the community, and then the ancillary jobs, like working with the local companies. We've really tried hard there to keep like if there's a vendor that we can use locally, we'll try to use them. So I think we'll try to keep that spirit here as well. But a lot of those folks there was a lot of excitement. So we did try to accommodate as much as we could with a tour. So happy to do it.
Thank you. I'll pass that on to him. Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Councillor Chapman.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Derek and Mike, for joining us here this afternoon. And I look forward to the grand opening myself as well. And of course, I think some of our community will be really interested in it as well. My question to you, Derek, is on the trucking side of the business, what would you anticipate to be the number of trucks in and out of the facility per day?
So it's still a little in flux, but I think when we get fully operational, I would anticipate around probably 60 outbound trucks a day worth of volume. Now that may turn into more like 45 if we're doing rail cars, but I'm thinking around that number. So that'll be the outbound trucks. Now McCain will coordinate those. It'll be on their behalf. Now on the NewCold side for inbounds, we'll probably see about the same amount, but those are going to be on that automated unloading and loading side. So just kind of a wild stab at it, 100 to 120 trucks in and out a day, probably. And then that'll, of course, reduce once we start doing rail cars, because a rail car is worth about 4 trucks. So when you can load a rail car, it's the equivalent value of 4 truckloads, give or take. Now, when we start up, it's going to be a whole lot less than that. I think we'll see 6 to 12 trucks in and out a day. And then, but of course, there's a plan to ramp that up until we're fully at max.
So further to Councillor Chapman's question, our administration is working with Alberta Transportation. We had our MLA Grant Hunter come and sit at the intersection of 845 and Highway 3 regarding turning arrow, so that eastbound traffic, when they hit the traffic lights facing south, there'll be an arrow so you can turn east, so that'll help a lot.
Great.
We're hoping that that's going to be in place by the end of June.
Okay.
I'm not sure where they're at with that, but it's something we're looking forward to. So as far as the trucks, when you have upwards of 60 a day, do you know what route they're going to be taking? Are they going to leave NewCold and then hit Highway 3?
I think they'll just leave NewCold and hit whichever way they're headed. As far as I know, a lot of it'll, there's of the routes, there's stuff that's going to stay in Canada, and then there's going to be stuff that goes export, and I believe there must be a port in BC or something like that, so they'll go there. Or there's stuff that's going to come down into the United States, or stuff that goes down into Mexico. So what that route looks like, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know my local geography well enough yet.
Okay, thank you. Last opportunity, members of council, questions, comments? Well, thank you very much. We look forward to coming to do that tour, and I was also asked, the Chamber of Commerce wants to take you up on one of those as well, so
Happy to do it.
we'll have them reach out to you as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been great to do business with Coaldale.
Appreciate that.
Okay.
Good luck with your grand opening.
Thank you.
Moving on to business arising from the minutes. Agenda item 6.1. We have a change of councillor vote, I should say, regarding the regular council meeting from November 18th, 2024. And just an opening comment on that. At the regular council meeting, as I mentioned, on November 18th, 2024, Council was presented with a land use bylaw amendment 900-P-10-24 for consideration of second and third reading. The land use bylaw amendment was proposing a change from urban reserve to direct control for the lands located at 1801 and 1809 30th Street. The proposed change in zoning as outlined in the developer's application. The proponent is interested in developing the area into a large format retail shopping center. Potential uses within the space would include grocery, pharmacy, general retail, pet retail, and quick service restaurant. The developer is currently engaging in a similar project in Tabor. Potential site plans were included in the application. However, administration notes that the site plans themselves are simply included to provide a sense of what the ultimate design of the site might look like under the proposal. The actual approval of any site plan would be part of the development permit phase of the development process and is not included in the consideration of rezoning at this time. At the time of the vote, Deputy Mayor Reeves voted in favor of the bylaw amendment and the motion was carried. Deputy Mayor Reeves would like to change her vote at this time, although it's council's right to exercise their vote as they see fit. The change of the vote on this item will not change the outcome of the carried motion. So in order for Deputy Mayor Reeves to change her vote, it would require council's unanimous consent to do so. And the motion would be that council provide unanimous consent for Deputy Mayor Reeves to amend her vote to item 7.1 at the November 18th, 2024 regular council meeting. Before I call for the vote on this motion, are there any questions or comments by members of council? See none, I'll call the question and I'll repeat the motion one more time, that council provide unanimous consent for Deputy Mayor Reeves to amend her vote to item 7.1 at the November 18th, 2024 regular council meeting. I'll call the question. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion is, I'm sorry? Okay. Councillor Saylor is opposed, so motion is defeated. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 8.1, new business, the Town of Coaldale Public Library Board 2024 Statement of Cash Receipts and Disbursements. And we have our Chief Financial Officer and Deputy CAO Kyle Beauchamp presenting. Kyle, whenever you're ready.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. In the agenda package, you do have the statement of cash receipts and disbursements for the Coaldale Library Board for 2024. So this report is prepared annually by town administration. We do work with the Library Board, Kendra, to work on this. Once it is completed, it is submitted to the Government of Alberta as one of the requirements for the annual grant funding that is submitted to the library. As part of the process, this report does have to be presented to council, submitted to the local council. So there's no change in the, essentially the financial statements that council did approve back in April. This information is essentially a snippet of the library from that audited financial statement. So this is essentially a summary of the operating results for the library for the past year. With that in mind, looking for a motion from council for approval. Happy to take any questions from that.
Thank you. I'll open it up for questions, comments. Seeing none. Oh, Councillor Chapman.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, and through to Kyle. In this report here, just looking at the grants that would have come from the province from 23 to 24 is about $1,100 drop from the year before. Would there be a reason for that drop in the grant?
The grants are distributed to the municipalities based on general the size of the library that the community that they serve. But again, if the overall grant that say the government produces $100 million, it gives out for grants for easy math. As some may go up and some may go down. It's just kind of the government's allocation. It's not a big enough amount that we were really overly concerned with, but overall it's fairly consistent. So,
Councillor Abrey.
Thank you, Mayor, and thanks, Kyle. And you may not know the answer to this, but I noticed the county contributes money to the Coaldale Library. Do we know why they don't have a representation from their elected officials on the board?
I do not know on that governance question, no.
Do you want any action taken on that comment? Or? Okay, thank you. Any other questions, comments? Seeing none, could I get someone to entertain that council receive the 2024 statement of cash receipts and disbursements for the town of Coaldale Public Library Board as information? Councillor Abrey makes that motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 8.2. Again, we have our Chief Financial Officer and Deputy CAO, Kyle Beauchamp, presenting on the Town of Coaldale Signing Authority. Kyle, whenever you're ready.
I presented council with a couple of these requests in the past, and now I'm essentially writing my own eulogy here. So requesting that with the change in administration, that town council update signing authority, so administration can make the appropriate changes as we need, so that there's no change or no flux in operations. So that involves removing Kyle Beauchamp effective June 26, and adding Ashley Crabb and Tim Koba. So we do have 4 signing authorities effective June 26. Happy to take any questions from council.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? Seeing none, could I get someone to entertain making a motion that council update the town's authorized signing authorities as requested? Councillor Beekman makes that motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to agenda item 9.1 under departmental reports. Again, we have our Chief Financial Officer and Deputy CAO, Kyle Beauchamp, presenting on the financial update for Q1.
So the financial update, this council will be, I will start over. The financial update is for the period ended April 30th. So we've just extended the timeline 1 more month. So it is for the first 4 months of the year. These financial updates are presented to council on a quarterly basis. So the intention here is to present similar financial information every 3 months so that council can compare actual results to budget for both operating and capital, and council is informed financially of the operations of the town and how we're doing to budget. So Lana, if you could scroll to page 41 of the staff report, please. So the page that you see in front of you and on the screen here, this is the statement of operations. So for layman's terms, this is essentially the income statement. So moving left to right, so we do have the description on the left, the actual results. So as of April 30th, 2025, followed by the budget and the budget percentage remaining. Revenues on the top and then expenses, so cash coming out on the bottom. Right now, the only items of note is that you will see some income there for land development, $1.3 million with no operating budgets. These funds aren't budgeted for our operational purposes. They're transferred back to capital, so we don't budget them for the operating budget, but they do fund capital projects. A couple of other items I will point out, fines and penalties. We do have approximately $90,000 in surplus from traffic fine revenue as of April 30th. So again, that can be repurposed for funds as council or a project in the future as council sees fit. Any questions on the operating statement before I move to the next page?
Any questions, comments for our presenter? Please continue.
And just to final up, Lana, if we can go to page 43. So this is essentially the capital budget. So it doesn't maintain all the budget requests that council did approve this past year, but we do have we do have here any project that has incurred a cost in the current or previous year. So you see all the projects which are underway as of April 30th. The total costs that they have incurred with the associated budget and any budget remaining. So, a lot of these projects have been completed or expected to be completed in the near future. And with this, I will be happy to take any questions from this council.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? Councillor Pickering.
Thank you, Mayor, and through to Kyle. I got one question on that purchase of that loader. Does that 150,000 that remains in the budget go into reserves or back into operation?
Yeah, it'll go back into reserves, and one of the things that we're looking at then is we'll have excess capacity into the reserves and the level that we need to fund the reserves for next year.
Okay, thank you.
Deputy Mayor Reeves.
Thank you, Mayor. Through to Kyle. That $90,000 surplus, is that the leftovers from the photo radar, or is that coming from somewhere else?
Yeah, so the way the photo radar works is we don't collect the photo radar directly. It goes to the province and it kicks back to us. So you may have somebody that got a photo radar ticket last October, for example, but now we're seeing the revenue. There is still some photo radar going on, right, by the old John Davidson. But the money coming in is most likely, the majority of it is just money we're collecting that happened from last year.
Councillor Chapman.
Thank you, Mayor. May I ask a question external to this particular report here that is relative to the finances of the town? I wanted to ask Kyle, in the check reconciliation report for May, the $2.5 million was reported in it. Is that a transfer from the Bank of Montreal to ATB, or how does that work? I can pull up the check number as.
So what as the town transitions from BMO to ATB, we do have to move funds over. So we're simply moving money from different bank accounts to complete that transition process.
That's what I wondered. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Kyle, anything else from you?
No, that completes the staff report. Thank you.
Thank you. With that being said, could I get someone to make a motion that council approve the April 30th, 2025 financial update? Councillor Pickering makes that motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. And then Kyle, you're up one more time for the last time regarding agenda item 9.2, departmental reports, the 2023 annual report, Canadian Award for Financial Reporting. Whenever you're ready, Kyle.
Thanks. Yeah, and another good news story. So we do publish a annual report every year, which is taking our financial statements and adding some commentary that puts it in a more readable format that, for those who aren't accountants and used to reading financial statements every day, the intention is to be able to read this report and come out with a well-rounded understanding of the town's operations and financial activity for the past year. So we do have a kind of a collective professional body, the Government's Finance Officers Association. We do submit this to this award every year, and this is the sixth consecutive year that the town of Coaldale has received this award for Distinguished Annual Report. I do want to give a big shout out to our Tim Koba, our asset manager. He put this report together for 2023 and did an amazing job. When I reviewed the report, I was kind of astonished of the job he did compared to other reports I've done. I think this was the best one. So he issued a great report. So big shout out to him. And the town will be looking to publish another report again for our 2024 results. And that's all I have on this.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? Well, congratulations once again. Make sure you pass that on to your team. And My understanding is this is your last staff report you're going to be giving as part of being part of Team Coaldale after 6.5 years of dedicated service. Is that correct?
That is correct. My last working day will be June 26th. So this is my last council meeting and last staff report.
So just for the viewers at home, can you kind of give us a Reader's Digest version of what you're going to be doing next?
Yeah, the next thing I'll be doing after this is taking a trip to Mexico. So that's the big thing. But I've accepted a position at the Lethbridge School Division, number 51, as their associate superintendent of business operations. So essentially, we'll be looking after everything non-teaching related. So I'll be starting there in August. So it's definitely a bittersweet moment leaving the town of Coaldale, but I'm excited and honored to be given the chance for this next exciting event in my life. So
excellent. And then would it be fair to ask who's going to be your replacement?
Yeah, so we've got a really great group of staff already. Ashley Crabb and Tim Koba. So those two are kind of be taking over the lead. Once Ashley's on maternity leave right now, so she'll be back in the fall and be able to take on that lead, and Tim Kova's be assisting her as well. So the town is in great hands. There are two people I've worked with for a number of years, not only at the town but at BDO as well before at my old stomping ground. So I have nothing but the utmost confidence in those two to kind of work together and take the reins. So
thank you. So once again, thank you very much for all your work that you've done in the last 6.5 years. You'll definitely be missed, but I'm so not worried about Ashley doing a good job for us with Tim. So
yeah, thanks again, and thanks to council. It's been 6.5 years has gone by very quickly. So it's been a pleasure working with all of you, and I have deep roots in the community too. So definitely won't be a stranger.
thank you very much. So Councillor Chapman makes a motion that council receive the 2023 annual report as information. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Moving on to information items. We have agenda item 12.1. Bill 50 regarding the repeal of the Council Code of Conduct Bylaw 837-GE-12-21. And not to put our municipal clerk on the spot, is there any comments you want to make on that?
Thank you, Mayor. Most notably included in Bill 50 was the repeal of the Council Code of Conduct. Our provincial governing body, Municipal Affairs, is still in consultation to explore options to create a municipal ethics commissioner to address any future council accountability and ethics issues that may arise. So it's removing it essentially from the local, the municipality, and putting it back to the province for any complaints or issues that would arise related to Council Code of Conduct.
Thank you. Any questions, comments for Lana? Seeing none, could I get someone to entertain making a motion that council receive Bill 50 update as information? Deputy Mayor Reeves makes that motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. And then information item 12.2, we have the Mayors and Reeves June report from MLA Grant Hunter. Any questions, comments on that piece of information? Seeing none, could I get someone to make a motion that council receive MLA Grant Hunter's Mayor and Reeves June report as information? Councillor Abrey makes that motion. Any further discussion? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. That concludes the open portion of the meeting. I will require a motion that council move to go into closed session at 5:50 p.m. in accordance with section 197-4-B of the Municipal Government Act to discuss matters exempt from disclosure for items 13.1 and 13.3, subject to Section 24, advice from officials. Items 13.2, subject to Section 27, privileged information. And finally, items 13.3, subject to Section 16, business interests of a third party, Section 21, intergovernmental relations, and Section 23, local public body confidences. Who cares to make that motion? Councillor Beekman makes that motion. Thank you. We shall call the question. All those in favor? Carried unanimously. Thank you. And we will take a 10-minute break.